wanted to make your own PacMan style game? Well, in this video, we will show you how you can do that using the website Scratch. Scratch is a free website that you can access on all devices, iPads, laptops, and tablets. And in this video, we will show you how to create your own PacMan style game. We will look at how we can create a maze on a background, add in multiple sprites and customize them to make them look like PacMan characters, and add arrows onto the screen and code them so that you don't even need to use a keyboard. You can make it like a touchscreen PacMan game. We can also look at how you can add a timer and obstacles to make your game more difficult. And for the first time, we have created a handout for you that has all of the code snippets on there, so you can use that alongside this video to be able to create your own PacMan game. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. You will need to use the Scratch website to be able to create your own PacMan game. And to do this, you will need to go to scratch.mit.edu. You then tap on the Start Creating button on the left-hand side of the screen, which will then take you to your coding screen where you can then start to build your PacMan game. The first thing we will need to do is we will need to change our backdrop, and we can do this by creating our own using the Paint option. This allows us to be able to create our own maze by using line tools and drawing a map that we can navigate our sprite around. Now you can make this as easy, as difficult as you want to, and you don't have to necessarily have straight lines if you don't want to. You can have curvy lines, you can do obstacles, it's completely up to you. There we go. So once I have my maze here, I also want to use the text button to be able to type in the word start at the beginning and also the word end. And I'm just going to change the colour of those by tapping on the arrow and going to the fill and making this green for my start button. And then tap on my end word and make that red at the end. And there is a reason for that, for when we come to the end of our code. So now I've got my backdrop, and you can see my backdrop here. I now need to start to have a look at getting my sprite. Now at the minute my sprite is a cat, and I want to be able to create my own. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to search the sprites that are available. Now you don't have to use PacMan if you don't want to. There are all of these different ones that you can use. However, I'm going to create my own little PacMan shape by going to the ball tool, and then I'm going to tap on the sprite there. And I'm just going to get rid of the other ones here because I don't want those ones. I just want that blue one. There we go. And I'm going to start to make this now look a bit more like a PacMan shape. So I'm going to get the rubber and I'm just going to rub out the size. Now that might be a bit too big, so I'm just going to undo and I'm going to make my rubber a bit smaller. So let's just change this to 20. There we go. That's much better. So I can then rub my PacMan there, and then I can add a circle with a fill of white, and that's just going to make my eye. And then I'm going to do another circle and make this one black this time to make the middle of the eye. So now I have my little PacMan, and I can move this around. Now what you might want to do is you might want to change the size of your PacMan sprite. So you can either make it bigger by making the number bigger. There we go. You just need to make sure that it does actually fit through your maze. If it doesn't, you might need to change the way your PacMan looks. And now we're at this point, we can now start to have a look at the code that we can use. So I'm just showing you a finished design of a game here that you might want to use as your basis for your game, or you might want to do something completely different. We do have a PDF of screenshots of this code, so if you wanted to download that to be able to help you create your game, then you can do that. Now, because I'm designing this on my iPad, I don't have the way of being able to add and type on keys on a keyboard. So I have created these arrows here that allow me to be able to tap on the screen and move my sprite. So if I just press my down arrow, you can see my sprite then moves if I tap these arrows. Okay, and to do this, there are 4 pieces of code that you will need to put on your left arrow, your up arrow, your down arrow, and your right arrow. And then once we have the code like that, we can then come to our PacMan ball sprite and we can have this code here where it says up, down, left and right. And that will help us move our sprites up, down, left and right through our maze. I've also added in some other code into my PacMan code. This code block here allows me to go back to the start when the game starts. And also this one here allows me to say well done when I get to the end. If I touch any of the black lines, it will also send me back to the beginning. Now these are all bits of code that you might want to include in your game or might not want to include in your game. So here's the piece of code for a timer, and if you wanted to have a score, you might want to be able to add that in there as well. And if you wanted to have a disappearing ghost that chases you around the maze, you can then add in this code which will allow you to have that ghost moving around. And if it touches your PacMan, it will then send your PacMan back to the beginning. You can also, if you want to, have little disappearing balls that it almost looks like when your PacMan touches it, they then disappear like he eats them. So if I just come down here and show you like this, oh, I've been attacked there. There we go. I'm just going to keep moving past there, and then as I go, those balls then disappear. So it's worth having an explore to see how you can make your PacMan game. But remember, start off with your backdrop, then create your PacMan sprite, then use your arrows to help you navigate your PacMan through that little maze. And then once you've got that working, what you can do with your PacMan game is endless. We can't wait to see what you have created. So why not share it with us? Go on to the Showbie app, put in this class code, and you will be able to access our Discover Digital Learning Zone Showbie account. This is where you can share all of your amazing creations with us, and we can have a look at them here at Family Fund and give you some well-deserved feedback. We can't wait to see what you create.